of a similar result, because now we're into our...
It is a little bit of a different thing to do, and more importantly, from the other side of the fence, Firewolf, can he continue and potentially take another win at the most opportune time?
Well, wasting no time, are underway. Tomboy in the home strip, near side, looking for... Oh, an early goal! And he's done so! He's found it! It's as if he had a map and compass. Straight away, not for the first time, he's come out, scored an early goal. And it could be the most valuable of his on the day, as he opens his account here in the Mobile Grand Final.
It wasn't a map and a compass, it was GPS. That was laser-like into the box. Again, neat little back heel. But again, strictly speaking, you talk about intelligent play. It drags the defender back so that at no point can any of the attackers be offside in the box. I very much enjoyed that one because it's so quick and it's so...
He finished top 8 in 2023 in the Efootball Championship Open, but his back's against the wall now. What can he do from kickoff to remind Mr. Tomboy that, oh, he's an adversary worth keeping an eye on, because this will actually be a corner from that threatening cross. Odegaard towards Havertz, who knocks it on, but Ramsdale is able to gather.
I think the good point, or the good thing, if there is such a good thing of conceding for Firewolf, is that he's done it early. So there's time to be able to reset and maybe think, well, it's just a flash goal. It wasn't something I was taking too much care of or advantage of. The problem, of course, though, it does give Mr. Tomboy every bit of confidence going into the latter stage of this game, because he knows that he's already inflicted some damage already on Firewolf.
They expect most of the same game plan from Tomboy that we've seen up to this point. Really keep the territory in Firewolf's half, make sure that ball stays in play, just with how quickly that in-game clock will tick here on the mobile platform. Weighted ball to Martinelli. Now, who's he got in support? Saliba for company, and Jesus has risen highest, and Nketiah keeping it alive! Tomboy 2, Firewolf 0. Our Asia West regional winner has scored 2 in the first half. Doesn't look like he's done yet. Neat finish in the end.
Yeah, he kept the ball alive after it was a decent save from the header. We'll see it again here. It's a decent save, but it's popped up very, very kindly. Just kept alive enough. And it's Eddie Nketiah that sweeps it home for 2-0 and really puts Mr. Tomboy in the driving seat here.
Tomboy 2. Firewolf 0. It has given Firewolf quite the mountain to climb here. Now a mobile grand final. Ooh. I think this one has been flagged for offside, has it? I wonder if that had trickled in, whether or not that flag would have stayed up.
It certainly would have been some controversy if it had gone up and it had ended up in the back of the net. 23 in-game minutes gone here. Mr. Tomboy has a 2-0 lead and looks very, very comfortable. It's almost like he's put the slippers on, he's put his feet up and made himself right at home in this mobile grand final.
Potentially time for a breather, as Mr. Tomboy wins the ball back. Really able to step back and assess the situation. Half an hour gone in our grand finals. Has a 2-goal cushion, which is the mobile platform. Very valuable. Puts all of that pressure back onto Firewolf, and Smith Rowe is unsuccessful in getting that ball back. He said before the game, Wes, first goal, so important. Tomboy introduces himself instantly. 15 in-game minutes later, gets another. And I think you are justified in that statement, Havertz and Jesus. Combination's not quite there so far in the first half for Firewolf. Havertz spread wide to Ben White, stunning cross to come in, can't beat the first man. Corner though. Be Martin Ødegaard. Back stick towards Jesus, and Ramsdale must have gotten a shout from the defender, but 2 minutes added on, and with just how quickly that clock ticks away in the mobile. You have to say it's probably going to be the last attack of the half here. Can Firewolf half that deficit? No, the referee calls proceedings to an end as far as the first half is concerned. Mr. Tomboy, he's been spotless, he's been faultless on the day.
Just a quick announcement.
Looks like he's going to go undefeated here today unless Firewolf has a response here in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look as though that complacency has crept in as we thought it may do. Certainly has kept that professional head on his shoulders and has been able to put his best foot forward. 2 goals in the first, 23 in-game minutes. Has very much taken this game completely away. You can see there as well the almost defensive setup he has now employed. It's now gone back to kind of, let me just protect this lead, and as it should do in these types of environments, especially when, as you can see there, he's built a brick wall of players. He knows what it means to be secured, is that he knows that he'll have a game plan. Certainly feels like he has a game plan for when he's winning, he has a game plan for when he's drawing, he has a game plan for when he's losing. We haven't seen plans B or C yet, because plan A seemingly is the one that works.
And
Great ball in the end.
This was the opener. Introduced himself perfectly to the occasion, and as things stand, Pavan Campelli, aka Mr. Tomboy, would be our second representative from India. After Joy Boy representing AC Milan, Mr. Tomboy, again, as things stand, would be the second representative from a nation that, prior to eFootball coming to mobile, hadn't really had a lot of success in mainstream eFootball in years in the past. It's great to see that nation really rise to the top now. And he is just 45 in-game minutes from raising that trophy you see at the bottom of your screens.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, in terms of India, in terms of their prowess within the sports world and their fandom for their players of the sports world, they certainly carry that fandom, as we'll see in Nketiah running forward, but they will certainly carry that fandom into the World Finals as well, knowing that there is an Indian, or at least more than one Indian representative, if the result stays as it is, in that World Final in Tokyo.
Some good shielding there from Nketiah, just ticked off away about 5 in-game minutes. Trossard now though for Firewolf, who, I mean, he really needs to show us something. Trossard, Martinelli, unable to get things going. Martinelli not quick enough to be aware of the hole. 2-1 through. Martinelli, Trossard, Firewolf starting to build now. Sneaks in the finish, but not for the first time today. Ramsdale smartly down to his side.
Wasn't enough power in the shot to really trouble the goalkeeper there. As time ticks down here, you can see the attacking biases on the bottom of your screen. You can see almost ultra defensive from Mr. Tomboy, a slightly more attacking onus from Firewolf, but at the moment it looks as though this is all for Mr. Tomboy's control.
Yeah, most certainly is, and as we take a quick pause, you'd have to say this is getting into the realms of Firewolf needing a goal within the next 5 in-game minutes, just with how quickly mobile does move. I know we say it so often, but it is true. You have to see something from him soon. When you think back to match number 1, The scoreline between these two was 2-1 in favour of Tomboy. We need to see Firewolf take that next step, and obviously the first mini step in taking the next step is getting that goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And we mentioned the time ticking down purely from the standpoint that you'll see a difference in game plan between a console player and a mobile player. With a mobile player, they're a bit more aggressive. They can afford to be a bit more aggressive because those chances don't really come that often. Whereas with the console platform, it's a little bit more methodical. It's a little bit more of a chess match. Whereas this is very much a case of throw your best attacks out within the first 2 or 3 attacks and just be hopeful that you can find a goal, as we saw Mr. Tomboy do in the opening stages here.
They're just doing some final tweaks here, making sure that all the lineups are in order. You can see, as you mentioned before, that just brick wall at the back. So many members, that's 9 men behind essentially 2 players up top. It's very easy to see what the game plan is going to be here for Mr. Tomboy, and rightly so, because I mean he's what, about 15 or so in-game minutes, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, from going to Tokyo, representing the Gunners at the World Finals. It's not something that should be taken lightly. That responsibility that comes with representing the North London club. They expect greatness. In-game minutes away from being our second representative from India. And he looks so comfortable. He's going to be a tough man to beat if he can close this out. The way he's shielding the ball, it just seems as if there's no way back for Firewolf. At the second time of asking, made it to the group stages in Munich. Tried to qualify for Bayern München, wasn't able to as Firewolf. He's gone one step further this time.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Made it to the final, but the day is all about Mr. Tomboy. He has done it. 2-0 sees Mr. Tomboy, Pavan Kampeli, 25 years old from India, be an Arsenal FC representative. Congratulations to your champion. What a day for Mr. Tomboy. Perfect.
Yeah, it really was. It was perfection. He has not dropped a game. He has not dropped a point. And he has been well worth the champion berth that he has now got to represent Arsenal at the World Finals in